All right, I ran into a massive problem today. I was heading to my gym. I only live like a mile away from it, so like it wasn't a far drive. Although I completely forgot that this gym that I go to shares the same like strip building with a brewing company. And I believe it was them. They were hosting some sort of like a gathering with a bunch of like tents and like a little community area where the parking lot was completely taken up. And all I wanted to do was just hit a little bit of biceps, just a little bit, not nothing much, just like 6, 7 sets. But alas, I did not want to wait till 5 p.m. until they were done, so I just went home and did it instead. And after it was done, I was like, hey, that felt, not the worst. I have dumbbells, I have a barbell. But I had to ask myself, like, is it better than going to the gym? So the way I want to sort this out is by talking about go like lifts at the gym and lifts at home, and then separate them between like the goods and the bads, basically. So with that being said, let's start out with the gym lifts. Now, one good thing about the gym that like totally sets it apart from lifting anywhere else is that it's a separate, completely separate designated place to work out. Not only can you be laser focused on the thing that you're there to do, which is working out, you also get a chance to perform your pre-gym ritual, right? Which everybody has one. I believe for most people, including myself, it consists of like a snack of some kind or like a pre-workout meal. Then you either take your pre-workout like in the car or when you get there. And then I usually like to go inside as it's kicking in. And then there is like another aspect that's like super obvious. I shouldn't even have to say it, but it's the fact that you have so many options to work with. For beginners, I totally get why that could be a problem. Like you literally don't know where to even go. But as like a intermediate myself, like I can at the very least not necessarily know what I want to pick, but like I can go into those options knowing how they work. I don't have to worry about taking too much time deciding between like a cable bicep curl or just a dumbbell bicep curl, which I am not here to get into the intricacies of those. But trust me, most gyms have access to, even like the cheapest ones have access to machines that are either you will never have enough money for, or you will definitely not have enough space for. Like at most, let me show you. I have room for a cardio bike, my dumbbells, and my barbell. That's kind of it. And I've just kind of stuffed my gym bag in the corner there and my belt. Whereas a gym has like the entire gym to put equipment wherever they feel like. And I'll fully admit, I'm so against places like Planet Fitness that have like 50 different cardio bikes, or I guess less specifically, like cardio options in general. They have bikes, ellipticals, treadmills. Sure, it's nice to have those, but maybe 3 or 4 of them for each. But I guess with that being said, I want to go a little bit more into the downsides. The biggest one, for at least where I'm in Alaska, the biggest problem is that the best gyms are so damn expensive. Like the one I'm going right now is like it's $80 for every month. It's so expensive. And then we have like our big ones, which are like the Alaska Club and Planet Fitness, where they're not that great, realistically. And not to mention, the biggest problem with most gyms that I've been to is they have a closing time. I'm so sick and tired of that. Like, do they not hear people complaining about how Walmart isn't open 24/7 anymore? Like, come on, man. Like, in my opinion, I assume if you lock up all the little stuff behind some kind of gate or locker or something, it's not like anybody can just haul a fucking treadmill out of there. That's not just gonna happen. But that was my biggest problem with Planet Fitness. It's like they would just pick and choose holidays to close on, or like they'll just close early for whatever reason. Sometimes it's people quitting. Sometimes it's just because we feel like. Another one that I've personally run into is a communication problems. Like bringing it back to Planet Fitness again. The whole cancellation fee thing is so stupid. I know they kind of rely on the people that just don't cancel their membership and will keep it going, expecting to start going to the gym again at some point. So I'm pretty sure that's why the cancellation fee is even there, just so that they can rely more on people that won't cancel it. And then even with my current gym, it hasn't happened to me specifically, but people have gotten charged multiple times in a row for a subscription they weren't even actually signed up for, or like they switched over to a different option and then the other one didn't cancel. Things like that. And I don't think I need to get too in depth into the like gyms are too busy thing. Sometimes like you just gotta deal with it. But going off of that though, one thing that I have a big problem with in my current gym is that it's really small. Like the space in general is pretty small for the amount of machines that the person has thrown in there. And sometimes too much of a nice thing is bad, specifically because the way he has the back machines lined up are right behind the treadmills. So like if a woman, for me, for my specific scenario, if a woman is like on the treadmill, tough luck. I can't do back that day, I guess. I'll have to deal with like the cable pullovers or like deadlifts, which I don't even like doing deadlifts personally. And thankfully the cables aren't positioned that way, so I can still do seated rows if I wanted to, but man, I like the machines more. All right, now I want to get into something that I'm very familiar with, the home lift. I don't have a lot of equipment, and I have also been broke for a very long time until like kind of recently. So starting off with the good things here, having to pay for your equipment once. That is a great thing to me. I love that personally. Like, believe it or not, you're not increasing your bench by 45 pounds every single month. So you're not having to pay for more weights every single month. Especially when it comes to smaller muscle groups like anything on your arms or even like abdominals. You're not really, for one thing, you're not really using weights at home for abdominals anyways. Unless you're me, I hold a plate on my chest sometimes. But regardless of that, I feel like most people who are in my similar scenario where they just don't have a whole lot of money aren't exactly increasing their numbers very frequently. Not to mention, for a while, like calisthenics was like a thing I was doing for a while. And another thing that I really, really like is that you're not having a bunch of different people using your shit or like bending your bars or not cleaning your equipment. It's yours. Sure, it may be your responsibility, but at the same time, when it's only one person using it and it's yours, you're more likely to treat it properly. Therefore, I've had these same dumbbells for 4 years now. Like since I was living, I think even I was living with my parents at the time. So I'll admit that's been kind of nice. Speaking of being like in your own space here, I know they're supposed to clean the bathrooms like semi frequently, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. And one thing that I really don't like is pissing in another person's bathroom, like whether it be public or in somebody else's place. I just can't stand it. Having access to your own stuff is really important to me, at least. I don't think it's the case anymore, but there used to be even like a community tripod that people could use at the gym. And that was kind of cool to have for a while, but I just didn't like using it because what if I broke it? What if somebody else broke it? And then it drops my phone and breaks it. Things like that. Little things like that worry me sometimes. But now we can get into the arguably many downsides of having home lifts. Thing number one for me specifically is I have animals, right? And they are very annoying sometimes. Even while I record this video, like right there. And as you guys know, they do take up a lot of space sometimes. Yeah. Now, I don't like complaining about my cats too much because they were my choice to get after all. But the equipment, I can't really hold back too much. Like, as you guys saw, my equipment takes up a pretty big chunk of my living room that I just can't use because it's there. I don't know a single person who is productive enough to actually move it every single time. That's what I get for trying to be funny. My head hurts. Not to mention, these guys, she doesn't make a good argument for herself. Look at that. But as I was saying, like, I could tidy this up a teeny bit more, but there's really not much more I can do except for this. And not to mention, one more thing I gotta show you guys. Yeah, check this out, right? Like, I have this massive mirror right here, but, like, I still need a bigger one to even fit. Look at this. The mirror compared to me. I'm still way taller than it, so I have to put it on a box if I even want to use it. And at that, like, if I don't have that, then it just has to lean out like this. That's so annoying. Now, I have gotten a little bit creative, I'll say, by sticking it on my couch. You know, it's called we get a little creative. But like I obviously can't keep it here. I don't want to keep it there. It's just like no matter where you put it, like, oh, here's a spot, it still looks stupid right there. And I don't think I have any pictures of this because it was so early in the morning, but this one right here decided to knock over 2 of these. She has broken 2 mirrors that are like not the same one. It was an easel mirror, but she broke 2 of them. Now, personally, like I've come to a conclusion already on whether or not I like working out at home more than the gym. But I've got to mention the fact that there are some obvious like nuances to this topic. Like I haven't tried every gym in Alaska, and not to mention I haven't tried any gym outside of Alaska. Maybe it's different in different states, let alone different countries. But the only thing I can say to refute that is that I either don't have accessibility to those other 49 states, or the other gyms are just way too far out of my way to even consider going to. Or the other option is Planet Fitness. And spoiler alert, guys, I'm going to keep going to the gym. I do understand that, like, I clearly like my personal stuff that I use being mine. I like it being mine. I like the stuff being mine. Not to mention, I do like cheaping out sometimes. I'm a little bit of a cheapskate. Okay? But there is no way that a dumbbell for me can replace a cable, especially this gorgeous Cybex machine that we have at the gym I go to right now. I just can't get that same kind of tension from dumbbells because not only do I feel it at the top, but I feel it all the way back. And like once you get to the bottom of your rep with dumbbells, the feeling kind of goes away. And obviously, as you guys have seen, I don't have the fucking space for a bunch of machines that I want to have. Nor will I probably ever have enough space for all that, let alone the money. But the thing you got to answer for yourself that I've already answered is that, like, is it more convenient for you to stay at home and then lift with your own equipment that you have to take care of, and it's also probably a little bit cheaper than to pay a little bit extra for all these super nice machines and the dedicated space for it? You're focused, or at the very least, I can't stay focused at home. Shit, man, I'm even lucky to have a pull-up bar here. But anyways, I couldn't think of anything else to talk about this week, so that's what I wanted to bring up. That's it. Later.